G2 falter again in the mid game, and this game goes quite long.
We've seen a trend.
And somebody wins in the end, which is not Fnatic, this split.
Well, we will see if that ends up being the case, if your words are truly prophetic, as the picks and bans have started up in Italy. Braum taken away, Kog'Maw, Corki banned out for G2. They do not want to relive the nightmare that was Reckless yesterday.
Damn, they banned Italy. That would make it very easy for us to predict picks and bans. First pick Italy into Lucian Alistar.
We have to work a little harder this time.
This time we actually need to use our brains, sadly enough. Gangplank gets taken off the board. Yeah, it hurts.
All right, so the Gangplank's off the board. Let's see if G2 decide to ban another AD carry. I was going to say I doubt it, but no, I was right.
No, what you wanted to say is like you think they're going to ban Kalista.
I'm learning.
That's when you bend your words. When you're not finished talking, you say like, yeah, I was about to say, but obviously they beat me to the punch. Kalista has to be a ban here. Emperor actually banning his own Kalista against Tabzz, who hasn't done that well on her.
Do you think this merits the Lucian first pick, in all honesty, to take that also away from Emperor?
I mean, let's see what's open first before we say yes and then get surprised. Alistar is open here as one of the power picks. Poppy used to be one of the early contested picks, but has fallen off a little bit. I mean, I think Alistar, if we're in LCK right here, I feel like we see Alistar first. Lucian definitely worth picking, because I think it's such a comfort champion for Tabzz too, and you take it away from Emperor and force him to maybe play Caitlyn.
The Malphite first pickup for Fredy. Interesting.
It's worth debating because both teams kind of starve their top laner. I feel like by Roccat it is almost a given. By G2 it's a choice. They really put Kikis on these tanks that he can then add utility in a team fight. So Malphite is one of these champions that have been very prevalent for G2, but that Malphite pick comes at a great cost.
Yeah, instantly G2 respond. They pick up the Alistar Lucian lane, so Emperor will have some comfortability for himself. Roccat, what do they answer with? Another thing worth noting, the Lulu is still available. But, you know, if you want to do like the Caitlyn comp that we saw Splice doing last time, I don't really think that screams Roccat, in all honesty.
I mean, Betsy's a good Lulu player, by all means.
True.
He's not a straight up carry there, but Tabzz looking to go for the Ezreal hover here. They're talking about it. A lot of options. Look at G2. The bot lane, check. Kikis is likely going on a tank. They'll have counter pick for Perkz in the mid lane, and then we just want to see a farm jungle. There's a good choice, or a good chance that we see another Graves here on the jungler Trick to really start that farm-heavy style that he likes to play and outpace. Nidalee off the board, so we have a very quick clear here on the jungle Graves.
Yeah, the Ezreal coming in as well. That's picked up for Tabzz.
With the Bard.
With the Bard as well, it's going to be...
I like that lane.
A lane of a lot of skill shots.
There's actually some ultra good cheese you can do.
Talk about it.
Creative gameplay. No, we'll see if we get it the game depending on the lane. But Bard Ezreal has one of the strongest level 1 traits in the game. Like, it's so hard to deal with if they just raw all in you level 1 behind the creeps. You kind of have to back off and you will lose experience. But it's such a risky approach.
Right, the Lissand's taken for Trick, and now we have a Nautilus as well. So we predicted this for Kikis. Pretty much a very likely scenario. We will probably see the Banner and Zerat portal pushing as well. See if he can do that against Fredy. But for Trick, we've only seen one Lissand game on him in this split since the Nidalee was banned away. I'm wondering what he would fall onto. And Graves was available as well, so kind of surprising he went for that.
Yeah, he kind of wants a flank here, a kick engage potential. Roccat looking for something where Airwaks can assist Betsy in the mid lane. Rek'Sai is decent jungler here. Does well until he's in, because every time he dashes in, you can just interrupt, you know, in some of the duels. Just auto-proc that passive knock-up.
I still like to see him go for a little bit more damage. We talked about Airwaks being that like solo QS jungler. He was doing quite well on the Kindred pickup, especially against Fnatic, but that was mostly because they weren't warding down bottom, just continually finding ways to kill him. But it looks like they want that utility, they want that movement around the map, and the Rek'Sai is the answer. They also lock in the Viktor for Betsy. Oh wait, no!
But wait,
at the last second,
there's more.
They go back to Jungle Rumble.
I have to echo what you were saying there, Pyro. I think you're right on the money. They needed some more damage, because if they just went with Ezreal and Viktor, both scaling late game damage dealer, as a team where your strength and your niche is the early game kind of spike against a team as aggressive as G2, I think that would have been the wrong decision. Instead, they go for Rumble in the jungle, which has a really good clear speed. Has some creative gank paths too, where they can maybe surprise Perkz if he's not used to it. Perkz is playing Lissandra though, so the Claw is really good to get out of jungle ganks, because Rumble is really good at slowing you down. Obviously, if you have like a blink, a lot harder to actually die.
Yeah, one caveat of this composition though, they have a heavy amount of magic damage, and they're going to need to get that Ezreal likely going blue build to scale up super late for it to be super effective. This is a game where you stack MR if you're G2.
Oh, definitely so. Really good point there. Look at, yeah. the amount of magic damage overall. But they also have the makings of a fantastic wombo combo though. Imagine a world where Bard lands like a 4-man ultimate into a double stun, Malphite knockup, Rumble on the top, Viktor, and then they all flash out and kill you. But there is so much wombo combo potential here. On the side of G2, there's more like individual pick-off. One guy gets kicked in, Lissandra ultied, or Nautilus just gets the combo off on one guy pick-off. They have not as much AoE damage, but Roccat, they can just kill an entire team in just like 2 seconds.
If they're able to hold on in that early game, we know they're able to play that quite well. They could have some serious power in their house. Now, we'll see if you think that Roccat can come out with a win over G2. Send those predictions at LOL Esports is, of course, the place. Hashtag ROC win or hashtag G2 win. It's the last game in Europe for week number 6. Let's hear y'all make some noise as we get ready to load up onto the Rift for Roccat and G2 Esports. They still love you, Crepo.
What do you mean still? That implies that the love was lost at one point.
No, it implies it's still going.
Actually, you're actually right. Again. I'm wrong. I don't even. Do I even? That's when you call me out and you tutor me in English.
I'm usually the wrong one, so this time I get to turn the tables on you.
Ah, how does it feel?
Feels pretty good.
Yeah. Let's turn those tables back around.
Hold on, I still want it this side. All right, let's take a look at how they're starting this game off. This line of scrimmage, nothing too out of the ordinary. You do see Extinkt going a little bit further into his own jungle here.
Yeah.
And
I mean, we could just start talking matchups then when the teams layer out like that. Ezreal, Bard have a range advantage. In my honest amateur opinion, Bards never start a camp. And I've probably told every single LCS player this. So hopefully, because they're tired. Whenever we go out, we're at a bar, I'm like, do you have a moment to talk about a Lord and Savior Bard? And I tell them, so there's a good chance where we see Tabzz and Extinkt delayed invade, stop the camp on Emperor, move behind the creeps, and do that level 1 trade. If that happens, I'm a happy man. Let's see if it does.
Keep our eyes on that one, Extinkt. Rocking that Snow Day skin as well. Actually, gotta go back to the. I know this is total diversion. I want to look at the.
Yeah, Rumble in the jungle.
Galaxy, no Rumble in the jungle. One of these days, it will be different. But all right, let's take a look at our summoners as well. Nothing too out of the ordinary. We do see once again the Nautilus.
Yeah, perhaps that is the way to play it. Perhaps I was wrong about Strength to the Aegis, and they just want the early trade potential. Nautilus should win that matchup. Here we go. Emperor took the early hits on the Gromp. Tabzz and Extinkt ran out of wards, so they have to manually check the Gromp. They will be late to lane, so the cheese won't work now.
It's just too bad.
Ooh.
Oh, he's got Chime though.
He's going Chime. Chime on. So they didn't had a ward available to kind of check over the wall, so they lose a lot of momentum here in terms of the push. That's actually crucial for this matchup because obviously Hybrid's a melee support. He can't really assist in that lane push. The first Q misses, so a lot of zone control lost here. G2 may actually be able to reach level 2 first. That's very big in this matchup. It may not seem like it, but this lane could look very, very brutal if Roccat managed to push, but Emperor and Hybrid get the edge.
This is just how League of Legends has really been trending. These butterfly effect, the small things that affect so largely even outside of the laning phase. Emperor and Hybrid, very strong duo lane, work together. Their synergy just instantly clicked.
They're so self-sufficient. It's really impressive how they can play losing matchups and go even in CS almost every single game. They find a way to make it work. Kikis, on the other hand, also like Kikis plays well on an island, and that allows Trick to just farm a lot and then enable Perkz if Perkz isn't already killing the enemy. So when things go well for G2, they just go really well.
Yeah. You know, on the flip side too, you look at Tabzz and Extinkt. I mean, neither of these players were what Roccat started the split with. Saphir obviously was benched, moved away. They got Tabzz, and Extinkt had to come in for Edwards. So, you know, they've not had as much time to adjust together. And this is a difficult lane to play together, I feel like.
Yeah, it just requires some synergy, but also you have to wonder why you would put an old veteran top laner in the support position.
That's true as well.
With long-term goals in mind, because Extinkt hasn't really impressed for me. He has been very lackluster overall. So I need to see if he can make this Bard. If there's one game where he can win my love back, it's this one. It's on a Bard game.
Yeah, we'll have to keep tabs on him. And speaking of Tabzz, trying to keep pace on the CS here versus Emperor and Hybrid, but they've kind of agreed to a non-aggression pact for the time being. It is hard to really harass Ezreal as much.
This lane, especially with the introduction of a lot of Kikis here in the high-level play, that can actually go down instead of just existing. This lane becomes a sustain lane. Alistar healed, Bard heals, we both agree to farm. So you only really have that window level 1 where you can really get a distinct advantage in lane. Other than that, unless Alistar Q flashes, you're not going to see any aggression. So we can start focusing on mid lane, because that was an interesting interaction where Perkz pushed out early, got low on mana, then used teleport to get a control advantage. And that's what you need. You want the mid prio so your jungler can play aggressive.
We didn't really talk as much about the Lissandra pick. There was just so much to go over in the pick and ban elsewise, since that was the last one chosen. We're seeing this a little bit more and more here in Heroes, with Lissandra kind of being like, oh, let's kind of wrap up our comp and put a bow on it. Take a look at that bottom lane, though. Isaac is really stunned up. That is a lot of damage. He does heal it back up, but still, dangerous trade.
That's actually, Ezreal is a little bit better right now into Alistar because the new combo, hang on, Extinkt taking a lot of minion damage.
Oh yeah, ooh, very, very low on it. Just turns on a dime in that bottom lane.
Hybrid walked up indicating that he wants to combo, and the new Alistar combo is actually slightly slower than the one you could pull off earlier. So it gives you a little bit more time to shift out of. The other person needs a little more time here is Fredy, though, getting gang by Trick.
Yeah, oh, he's able to flash away, but the Sonic Wave connects. Not going to go in on that one. Trick knows better than that, and Fredy gets away at the cost of a summoner spell. Meanwhile, the Rumble going through the jungle on the other side while Trick was away. He'll be able to charbroil himself up some jungle camps, and free push as well for Perkz in the meantime.
Yeah, with the help of the Scuttle Crab, the bot lane here on the red side can actually ward in aggressively and just push. It's really crucial to have that Scuttle Crab. We saw Trick claim it earlier, and it allowed Emperor and Hybrid to place their ward in the brush deeper in the tri-brush right there instead of just next to the lane, because they were safe for river ganks against the jungle without a gap closer. Airwaks though, but they vision faded, and now he's here.
He's got the one, didn't get the two. Hybrid takes a little bit more poke from Extinkt, so Airwaks doesn't have to give up too much here just to be able to poke out this bottom side. Lo and behold, Tabzz has got himself a CS advantage.
Yeah, but that's something Trick does a lot. Airwaks looking to just come push in this wave, and they want to reset the wave. But that's something that he does a lot. Trick, he helps his lane by getting Scuttle Crabs, then they can move their ward line up a little bit, put them safe from any ganks, and Trick just keeps farming until he finds an opening somewhere. Yeah. Look at him, level 5 right now, finish off the Gromp. Even on CS with Airwaks though, because Rumble just has such a fantastic clear speed too.
Yeah, that early Scuttle Crab clear, that was pretty much the one thing we saw last year really being popularized by Reignover when he was on Fnatic, and it became sort of standard of fare after a while. But Trick, you know, I mean, he's definitely got a one-up over Airwaks in this case. Yeah,
in terms of Scuttle pressure he does, he's falling slightly behind in farm though, because he's in the empty jungle. Airwaks, not quite sure where he's going. He ran into River, no Scuttle Crab there, so he's running back right now. He is level 6, but Perkz is playing to the correct side. Perkz has his vision is backed, like he's backed up by vision, a pink ward in the rush, so he's playing to his safe side. Combine that with Claw, it's almost impossible to gank him because nobody is bringing hard CC to the table in that mid-jungle combination here.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about how the bottom lane was turned into a sustain one. The top lane is by default a sustain lane, even with the extra damage that Kikis is bringing. Fredy not able to trade quite as effectively, and because of that mid lane safety of the Lissandra, this could be a very prolonged laning phase.
Yeah, the only lane that's really gankable is that top lane. Even though they're sustained 1v1 and slow damage output, they have CC, and they enable their junglers to come in.
True. Rumble
plus Malphite have a lot of damage combined to take down Nautilus. Take a while. The only answer you can do in a very stale, can't gank, can't do anything type of situation, that's when you peel your support away, combine with your jungle, and you go in for deep vision. Maybe we can see some of these support jungle combinations show their synergy this match.
And one thing worth noting too is as G2 gets further and further into this game, the double TP will come in very handy for them if they can get the instant target lockdown, send out the Nautilus ultimate and the Lissandra ultimate, should be able to lock down somebody like Betsy. He's got the cleanse, but he can only use it once, right? He's got to hold it until they both land on him, or they can try to lock down Tabzz.
Definitely agree.
Take him out of the fight.
If Perkz keeps doing what he's doing right now, he has the push advantage in mid, which means Betsy can't chase. They could easily set up a dive up, maybe even on this wave already. Look at it. Kikis is diving, they're zone calling. They don't want this wave to be cleared. They're looking for a dive player in the bot lane.
Yeah, they know it. And now Airwaks not able to get hit by that Sonic Wave. It was going to be Trick looking for that one. Teleport coming in as the equalizer's thrown down. Gets canceled at the last second though. He decided he didn't want to take that one. True Shot Barrage comes out. As Tabzz hits 6, Trick goes in, gets the kickback onto Airwaks, and just like that, it's gonna be first blood. Over to Emperor.
The play fails, but it gives Airwaks a false sense of security. And Bravado, he just simply steps forward, dies with his flash up, so questionable move right there.
Moment of action in this game as 1,000 gold in the difference is allocated G2's way. Be right back to the laning phase, of course. Right after this, uninterrupted minion farming.
Yep, farm alarm right now. Fredy, teleport comes up in about under a minute. Let's see if he can balance the scales here, because right now G2 has pressure in the bot lane, pressure in the top lane due to the nature of the matchup, and pressure in the mid lane. And if that Q connects, we're seeing a really big dive here, but re-engage, Emperor dashes out, and at this point, Roccat won out on this play. It's at this exact moment here that Airwaks regrets his life decisions. He's like, oh, he missed me, I can keep going. Wait, no, Lucian can actually press Q again and kick me in. That is major mistake by Airwaks. Not excusable at all.
Yeah, Airwaks definitely learning some lessons there. We should hope at the very least. Still trying to keep pace on the minion farm in this game. We're getting close to that 10-minute mark. Still going to be a while before the composition for G2 really comes alive. But for Roccat, they have some serious damage in the late game as well. The blue Ezreal is really going to take a while to get rolling, though. Just on the tier, and of course, his Sheen.
Takes a while to get rolling, but the power trophy he's in right now is so brutal. He only has one Sheen poke every so often, while Emperor is sitting on a BF with an extra sword already, so trading-wise, he loses out. So he can only just farm, but in farming, he will lose a little bit of HP every wave on that tower, and then eventually G2 can maybe look for a dive. It's so easy to dive somebody who's continuously pushed into his tower.
So with that in mind, what do Roccat really need to do just to make sure they come out of this laning phase with a, not a lead, but much more alive, in the position that they're comfortable with, that they then have had trouble in the mid and late game?
I feel like Airwaks should group up, push out the lane with the bot lane, get deep vision so they have teleport wards, because otherwise, this is gonna happen. Teleport from Perkz comes in here.
Yeah, double tempered fate, but Extinkt is still in a whole lot of trouble. Perkz is able to come in around the side, claw himself a kill. Now the fast push is on. Mini wave cleared away for just a second, but still they have enough residual damage for G2 to be able to take out that first tower. It's gonna get traded in the top, but that is a slow push
here
compared
in
to
the
what they had.
Yeah, and there's teleport advantage in terms of Fredy, but obviously he can't react because Kikis is just watching him. He has two ways of stopping that teleport, so Fredy can't join the party. That dive was, we both saw it coming from a mile away, but Roccat were unable to predict the enemy movement, the enemy play pattern, and act accordingly. And then, of course, in the end, it is too late.
Yeah, Fredy a little bit preoccupied. He does manage to stop the back of Kikis for a second. Trick is going to go ahead and try to start soloing out this dragon. G2 getting a little bit of extra boost for themselves here. 2 kills to 0. It has been a low-action game with G2 Esports really only looking for small openings that Roccat have left in their bottom side to make things happen.
Yeah, G2 have thrown only a few punches, but they've hit hard. Every single punch carried a lot of weight behind it. Because that 2-kill advantage translated in over 2,000 gold already.
Roccat just trying to play that stall game. I mean, this is a team that has had such a rough ride in the European LCS this split already, only picking up 2 wins, the latest of which yesterday at the hands, or against Splice, I should say. And they just really need to look at trying to stay alive. I mean, this is, G2 you could say is not the team they necessarily need to be, but they're pretty much out of easy opponents. I mean, they've got Origin coming up. Everybody else, well, and Fnatic, everybody else is those top 4 teams.
Yep.
It's such a rough ride for them going forward.
Yeah, definitely so. But if you look at their goals at the start of the season, obviously they're more than happy with the situation. Even if they lose 2 or 3 of those matches, in terms of like early split expectations, they made it comfortably into the playoffs, which is impressive. But look at G2. Earlier we saw them ping on the map. Top lane tower. Let's trade it, guys. Open up that map. Find an opening. And then they'll likely rotate to the mid lane. See if they can get a dive in here. Kikis is flanking. Perkz was fake basing to lure in enemy mid laner, perhaps stopping him.
Not going to take the bait.
They pinged out Nautilus, but I don't... Yeah, he walked over a ward, so they know he's there. Both teams trading turrets. This is essentially good for Roccat. If you can trade turrets from behind, you're generally doing a good thing. But G2 add a little bit of a... Yeah, Rift Herald dessert to that main course.
Be able to try and push even more towers with that one. Mid lane should be the next on the menu. All things considered, Perkz is picking that out for the time being, and they do give that buff over to Trick, so immediately turning attention to that mid side. It's undefended for the time being. Betsy's still trying to walk back to lane. This could be a very fast move. They get 2 for 1, but Airwaks is there to defend now. And now they're not going to commit to it.
I mean, just a little bit of damage. Just be careful. Extinct the portal over. Throw his ultimate. Yeah. Just keep looking for teleport wards. At this point in the game, when there's so many teleports available on champions like Nautilus and Malphite, warding and being apprehensive of enemy wards around your flanks is the main thing to keep in mind.
Vision control is just counted for so much. We talked about it pretty much all day now. I mean, really.
That happens when you get the cast from me.
Yes, yes.
A lot of ward talk.
Honestly, I learned so much. I feel like I should be going up in rank, but I just keep throwing games. So maybe. I mean,
I say that all the time, but then when I play the game, I'm like, you know what, wards? Nah. Items.
Do you not build Sightstone?
No, I support I do, but when I play off-roll.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Support you have to. You can't get away with it, sadly. You delay it a little bit for extra damage. Get that
hey, if you start support carrying, you know, you pretty much have it all in your control. We haven't seen too many of those now. As Betsy, he gets locked up for just a second, and Hybrid misses the pulverize. Equalizer, though, that doesn't miss. Chaos. Oh, that's a heaping helping of damage, burning down both Trick and Hybrid.
Here's a collapse, so Kikis coming in.
Oh, sets up that big ultimate, and he looks immediately for Betsy, takes him down. Perkz was locked up in stasis for just a sec. Trick able to make it out alive. A whole lot of chaos in this river as Hybrid is caught between 4 members of Roccat, and all said and done, it's just a 1-for-1.
Yeah, 1-for-1, because Emperor was late to the party here. Some really interesting interactions that happened. Fantastic flash from Betsy. He did almost everything he could do once he got into that position. Was a little bit overextended. Got out, bought enough time for Kikis to swing around. Emperor was just really late to that collapse. 1-for-1.
Yep. We have seen some issues with Emperor not being where the team needs him to be, but let's take a look at how it all started.
So Betsy wants to get that wave into the tower, but Hybrid has the Q flash because if he combos, he gets flashed anyways, and then he has nothing to do. Here, the flash over from Airwaks here on the red carpet. I think they could return to Trick a little more for some damage. They disengage. Kikis, yeah, Betsy's at this point, Betsy's dead. Perkz gets stopped here by Extinkt. And then it turns into a 1-for-1. Hybrid goes a little low, but Fredy122's right behind him, so he's gone. So Trick makes it out somehow.
Support from mid lane, though, still should favor G2 in the time being, and still they extend their gold lead just a little bit more on the map. Remember, it's 2 towers, just a 1 right now, but Roccat have a lot of options to be able to start knocking those down. Dragon will be up and available in about a minute and a half. So far, the only one in this game has gone over to G2. Probably not worth contesting, but that tower burn should make a bit of a difference for G2's Siege if they're able to pick it up.
Yeah, but the G2 are not looking to open the map up with Sieges, though. They want big team fights with a lot of CC, catch somebody off. Actually, not even team fights, they want picks. They want to find some lone stranger in the woods, looking to rotate to get some couple of units there for farm.
And pow on the neighborhood.
Pow, yeah. This is our time.
Yeah, beat it. Now Roccat trying to defend this mid tower yet again. So, G2 are just kind of roaming around the jungle, as you said, trying to look for little edges, but they're able to push here uncontested on this bottom side for just a moment.
Banner finished on Kikis, and look at the deep vision. They're putting deep vision with a purpose. The purpose is to enable Kikis on the side lane split push on his own, then they rotate somewhere else, get something done. So that's what they're doing. And that little pink ward that we saw Hybrid place there just under the enemy red buff, fantastic ward, because very rarely will people path over it. And right now we see some of the issues that a Malphite will have and why Nautilus rushes Banner in this matchup. Because if you've ever seen that video of the incredibly slow murder with the incredibly inefficient weapon, the guy running around with a spoon, this is the equivalent of it.
Oh, that's painful to watch. Poor Fredy. He's got the Sunfire Cape. That's helping with the rest of them.
So G2, we talked a little about punches and carrying weight. Roccat, not so much.
Would have thought, oh, okay, so Airwaks has ended up using his equalizer just to clear out the wave here as it just kind of all things get reset. Perkz has been pinged out on the top side, but he's still causing pressure, and now you can see Tabzz has to back.
Yeah, because
he has to back.
Kikis needs vision, so he doesn't get collapsed on, but Perkz, he can just so safely push out because of that Ice Claw. And the fact that he still has flash available. So he's just pushing without any wards, and he's just relying on the vision on the right side of the map to indicate who's there. If there's not too many people missing, then Perkz put pressure. So G2 using the few wards that they have to maximum benefit. And more importantly, they shadow the area behind the dragon so they can safely do it too.
This is the difference. The hallmark of the top teams utilizing that vision effectively most, if not all of the time. Roccat just aren't able to really do anything in answer. That second dragon goes over 18 minutes now on the game clock. And G2 just continue to keep the pressure up, pushing away, causing a lot of problems for Roccat to be able to answer and get anything else out of the map. They need to buy time. You see Tabzz still only about halfway on his tier stacking up, or a little bit more than that rather, but still going to be a while before he gets super effective with the Muramana. And the rest of the team really don't have a whole lot of battle stats.
Yeah, and then you see G2 base, and you see the most beautiful thing in the world. Well, 3/5 of it at least, 3 pink wards in the inventory.
I thought you were talking about Zerot portal elements.
No,
I like that.
I have a strong dislike for that item. I like Banner because Banner influences side lanes in. You need to make a choice, right? You put a Banner creep somewhere and you influence and manipulate waves. Banner is just an item out of which continuously minions flow endlessly. I like to see a wave being built up, you know, massive, and then crash into a tower, not just a repetitive stream of AI units. That's my opinion, though.
It's perfectly fine. I'm just an old Singed main, so I see that item, I just start rubbing my hands together evilly. So
Dirty
right
Sage
now,
picker, the equivalent of the Dirty Cyan picker in Season 1.
Yep, that's pretty much the same thing. Okay, the Rift Herald is going down. Last minute one here for G2 Esports. It wasn't going to be completely free because Airwaks was intent on causing a little bit of mayhem in that pit, but Trick will be able to secure it. A little bit slow on the draw. Tabzz sends out the True Shot Barrage, but it does not find its true target.
And again. And again.
Oh, God.
And again.
We just not watch this.
No, this... Don't enjoy this. He's actually not doing any damage with it. All the damage is the minute. He gets the last 49 gold here.
There we go. That is completely worth. All right.
Imagine if after all that time you missed the cannon creep.
At that point, Fredy just like takes off his headset and just walks off.
It's like, I'm done, guys.
I
put my ZZ Rod portal down. I'm going to take a coffee break. Hang on here, though.
Perkz will still be there, though. Perkz is caught, and he's getting charbroiled. Ice is not strong against fire, but Trick is there for backup, and there's the Frozen Tomb. Teleport coming in. Airwaks days might be numbered. The Malphite, or rather the Nautilus coming in. And
Bubble for Hybrid, that's dead. Airwaks collapsed completely from G2. Perkz thought about flashing defensively, then realized they could turn the play around. Mid lane though, it comes at the cost of a tower, so this is actually not that bad for Roccat.
Yeah, Roccat definitely need this gold in their pocket as well. This ROC portal set up in the brush, continually crashing in to that wave, and you're not getting any gold off of that one. Sorry, Tabzz. Betsy does take that tower. So nice little edge on that play. The tower difference is now dead even, 2-2. G2 still holding the gold lead, and they're continuing the siege. They're not letting the pressure up, but they're not able to get any autos on it, just letting the minions do the job.
They just want those ZZ Rot minions to get into the tower, deal some damage. The war split push is hitting critical mass. I always loved split push as a concept. It's one of the few things that completely annihilated my our teams in the history, but this is taking a little bit too far.
And it's another slow kill, but this time it's the Strop portal, so Fredy has found an enemy he can't match.
It. Death to ZZ Rot.
And he has his own as well. So we'll see a lot of little void bugs continue to push back and forth against each other this game. G2 have decided to move their forces a little bit more towards the middle and the bottom side of the map. Still, a lot to try and open up here. Still that mid turret stands for Roccat. They're trying to keep this one defended as best as possible. With so many members here, there's nothing else to take on the map because Baron is still an afterthought for most of these teams. It's only 21 minutes and no one has a massive advantage. And no one wants to give up that lead.
So annoying to play Alistar into Rumble because you never want to ulti for non-burst damage, but he'll just like cook you alive though in that mid lane.
Speaking of burst damage, 3 G2 members just absolutely collapsed onto Betsy. Didn't even get a chance to use his summoners there, as they were a little bit preoccupied trying to cook hybrids behind.
Kikis zone.
Yeah.
No portal.
A couple of shots of damage there, but he's got the shield up, sends the Riptide on, and now the Unstoppable Force knocks up him and a cow, and Kikis is melted down. Colin comes out for Emperor, but he only finds a little bit of damage onto Extinkt. Hybrid might be the next one on the menu. Teleport coming in. Trick with the defense, safeguarded in. Fredy, he's given up on this one. Tabzz, he's locked up. Perkz takes him out. Frozen Tomb, and a little bit too late on the draw with Extinkt's Tempered Fate. That means Freddy's gonna fall. It is all said and done, a 2-for-1.
Yeah, Perkz comes in with massive amounts of damage there to swing that fight completely. Extinkt didn't manage to lock him down with that Temper Fate. Couldn't stop him from coming in. Perkz completely turns around that fight. Good re-engage from Roccat, but again, they bought into their own play too much. Didn't account for the fact that Perkz could enter that fight with his Ice Claw available, and they paid the price.
Yeah, Perkz definitely showing up once again with Lissandra. He's got all the buffs in his pocket. 2-0-3 on that champion, and he has just made such a massive impact in the European LCS on a wide variety of champions. He was one of the first to do this quirky mid play. And before that, we were looking at all of his assassins. Now on this Lissandra.
Yeah, he almost
big moves.
Almost has to be rookie of the split.
Yeah.
It's early to tell, but fantastic. Let's watch this again. So, Betsy gets caught. Let's see it. Oh my god, that was a really beautiful dredge line here from Kikis. Completely snipes Betsy. Big ends up using the kick for that, so that means that when he flanks later on, he can't. This turnaround is good too. Kikis overextends. Once dredge line misses, you have to be careful. And we see a really good rumble ulti. Good slow from Extinkt. So far so good for Roccat. They realize they can turn two-man Nautilus ulti, but everything has been used. Malphite, Ezreal, rumble ulti all go down, and they overchase into an Alistar support. And then here's Perkz. He comes in. No Bard ulti to stop him, because you can time Bard ulti on a teleport. We'll get into that later. Betsy's dead again.
Oh, once again before we can even get to it. Now Airwaks is pinballed around. G2 grabbing themselves another 2 quick kills while Extinkt was already down and immediately pinging on for the Baron. There's no way Roccat can stop it.
Yeah, it's going downhill here, Pyra. Overall, G2 find another engage. And yeah, the only way out of that play earlier was the perfect Temper Fate right as teleport lands. It is a counter to Lissandra. TPing in because she can't Ice Claw and chase, but Extinkt wasn't quite ready for that play. Roccat wasn't quite ready for that play. We weren't ready for that play. We have no clue what happened, but in the end, all that matters is that G2 take Baron.
And Tabzz once again slow on the true shot barrage. Comes in just a little bit too late for what would have been a miracle steal attempt, but it's only Emperor who can seem to pull those kinds of things off on Ezreal. For Roccat now, they just keep getting jumped very quickly without any time to react. We talked about Extinkt. I know you put him on the spotlight saying, hey, if there's a time he can impress, it's this one. He just hasn't shown up yet again. We're seeing that his reactions on this bar just aren't good enough.
Yeah, and such a champion that requires so much gameplay. If you look over like over to NA, Matt on Team Liquid, fantastic bar player overall, but he's played in a lot of games here. Let's see what happened here again. So Extinkt cut out initially. Portal's very small distance. He's still in range. He starts juking before Trick comes out of the gravity field too. Like the awareness here, he wasted space and units to juke on a champion that was locked into a gravity field. Betsy is looking to help his teammate, but kind of pays the price for it too, and it all starts falling down. Roccat trying to help each other, but there are some times where you just gotta watch him die.
Another car objective for G2 too, and they pulled in Fredy. Another dredge line. Kikis has just been nailing these, and he's got to use the ultimate defensively. Now the Tempered Fate comes out for Extinkt, and it hits nobody. Perkz is juking around in the mid lane. It is unraveling very quickly for Roccat.
Yeah, a bit of a panic ulti from Fredy too. G2 wasn't even going for him. They kind of ignored him, went for the minion wave, so... Ooh, and without that one tank hard engage, look at the remaining part of Rocket's composition. If you take out the Malphite ultimate, what do they have left? 4 squishy members that all can get hooked by Kikis. He has his pick of the litter right now, and Perkz can re-engage whenever he wants.
We talked about that wombo combo, but it just hasn't materialized. Point blank setting up the Zerat portal, and that tower is just getting eaten away at, chewed on. Roccat trying to desperately hold on and defend this as the base is about to get blown wide open here. Still no Malphite ultimate for a little while. The coin comes out for Emperor, and it eats Airwaks eats it for just a second. They pull in Fredy.
You'll see an equalizer.
There's the equalizer. It's only going to connect onto Hybrid, and that's on the back half of his. Perkz is in the backside, causing havoc here. Looking for Fredy, looking for Betsy. Who are they going to get? Perkz in the Chaos Storm, but he gets the Zhonya's down. And now Tabzz is pinballed in. They pull him in. That's a double kill for Hybrid, and another for Perkz. This is just going absolutely wrong for Roccat. Only Betsy here to defend it, and at 26 minutes into this game, G2 are looking to end it.
Yeah, what a completely decisive push here from G2 overall. One tower goes down, the next one goes down, next is on the board. G2 win the game.
Heartbreaking loss for them yesterday, but they have managed to resound back. It's 26, almost 27 minutes, and G2 Esports have cleanly taken out Roccat.